Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to Blade Biased. It is time to bring out, oh boy, wah wah, SpongeBob wah wah sound, the UFO. I do not know what got into you guys when I posted the last video on the UFO, but it was by far the most successful video I have uploaded possibly ever to the channel. Which is a little funny to me given that it was about this thing, which is possibly one of the most controversial designs that I have seen come out in the community in a while, because everyone has a hot take about the UFO. Some people think that it should never have been born and it deserves to be incinerated in a fire immediately. Some people really like it as a public flipper, and not too many people sit in the middle. I sit in the middle, and actually, I'm sure a lot of people actually do sit in the middle. It's just the vocal minority sitting on the outsides that really are driving the discourse on this thing. But I figured I would provide an update video I didn't want to do I spent a week with, because the reality is I have not spent a lot of time with this thing since I unboxed it, as I just really don't like it. But it does deserve an update video because I got so many opinions and questions in the comments last time, and I mean, as you can tell, actually did fix it, kind of. So first off, I just want to shout out everyone who told me to loosen the Zen pins, which is something that I realistically should have thought about in the first video, considering any point of contact that is compressing this plastic against the blade is going to be a problem with bind. I just didn't consider that because, you know, Flightanium was so quick to say, oh my gosh, it has bushings. The bushings don't do anything, and I don't think the bushings do anything in any model I've seen anyone have. The Zen pin screws should not be compressing and squeezing the blade. Neither should the pivot screws. That's the whole point of bushings, but yet here we are. I've also seen people get UFOs in that come with broken washers, bent washers, fractured washers. It was a mess, which kind of leads into the people who are like, but we got it for free. What's the point of being so upset about it? Yes, sure, I agree with you. But the reality of it is, especially for someone like me who's making a video on this thing, I have to provide a look into the future for when it isn't free anymore. For when people actually have to spend $20, probably $30 by the time you pay for shipping, on this thing. I don't know if it's worth it. And that's kind of what I want to get into in this video. Is it worth it? Because for $3, sure, like, it's fun. Honestly, if I didn't have a channel, I probably would have wanted my $3 back. I know that sounds so petty, but like, I just don't use this. I don't see the point of it. I don't anything. But that's just me. I try to be a tiny bit more objective in some of these videos. So that's what we're going to do today. How does the UFO hold up now that I can actually flip it and now that I've had a little bit of time with it? And the answer is just really not the best. It just all comes down to it's not designed. It doesn't feel like it's designed for flipping. It's an unidentified flipping object because it feels like it shouldn't be able to flip. The blade is so short that it cuts out any sort of fans. And these little, whatever you want to call them, interfere with chaplain so much as to the point of being genuinely uncomfortable. And it just doesn't chaplain very well in the first place. So like you're eliminating so many tricks, and the ones that it should be good at doing, it's not even good at doing because of this crap. They also break really easily because this is like super thin. And I mean, I know this is, I think, glass-filled nylon or whatever the hell it is. It's still really thin. Still going to break kind of easily. Definitely not something to be a beater. I think the best case to make for this thing's existence is a public flipper. Because, of course, if someone thinks that this is dangerous when you're flinging it around, that is more their problem, because this thing looks more like a glorified bottle opener than anything else that you could possibly be flipping. So I don't know. Wow, the Osprey is really good. What the hell? This is my first time flipping the Osprey in a minute. Whoo, boy, this video is not about the Osprey. I'm doing an update video about the rest of my collection later. Holy cow. So public flipper, I don't know. Because this exists. But then, shoot. I don't have a diode. I don't have the diode here. I'm pretty sure I left it at home on accident. The diode exists for $10 more, and that thing actually flips. And as much as I don't like the diode, it's at least something. Because like a public flipper, you obviously want to be able to flip it in public, but you also want to be able to flip it. And I mean, this thing surely will be good enough as like some sort of mindless fidget toy, but I don't think you're really going to get any high performance flipping out of it at all. You can flip it, and I'm definitely capable of doing it. It flips a little better now that I'm used to it and I've fixed the handle swing. But really, just the fact that it can't chaplain despite being pretty much all handle is kind of egregious to me. I mean, it can chaplain, but it's like a vault. It feels so weird. In fact, I would say it feels worse than the vault by a long shot, which shouldn't be a surprise given how this thing, looks. But, were people being too harsh on it? Yes, I do think so. I think this is a fun little idea, especially for $3 if you got it. It's a fun little goofy thing to add to your collection. But the time is going to come, and I think the time has already passed when this is going to go back up to full price. This is going to be $20. And at that point, it's really just like you could spend $20 more and get something like a Lightning or a diode or something along those lines. And I just think that would be such a better use of your money, unless you already have an established collection. Like if you're looking to get into the hobby for the first time, this is not it. This is not going to teach you any good flipping habits. It's not going to teach you how to flip a balisong like this. You could make the argument that it's so bad that once you get something that's good, it's just going to feel amazing and it's going to help you perform better, but I don't know. I'm a big advocate of giving yourself the strongest start that you can, and I don't think you're going to get that with the UFO. Yeah. So does it deserve to exist? Yeah, it's a fun little idea. It's a goofy little thing, but I don't see it really making any waves outside of the free ones that they sent out to people who went to Blade Show, and I guess beyond, since the code was just the same for everyone, which is kind of goofy. I did see someone say that they like to spin it around as a karambit, which is a fun use case. But like, if I grab my karambit, I don't know, I would rather just have something like this. It just feels way more controlled and everything is where I want it to be. Whereas this is like, it's fun to spin like this, but as soon as you stop it, the handles fling everywhere and all that. And speaking of the handles flinging everywhere, this thing kind of hurts to flip sometimes. You go to do like ricochets, and because it has just so much handle weight, it just slams into your finger, and it doesn't feel the best, I don't know. The handles are carrying so much momentum, and there's so much bias towards them because the blade is, fuck all, that there are some times when you go, like specifically like a full twirl, when you stop to go the other way, it hurts a little more than you would expect from like a 3-ounce plastic thing. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm glad it's fixable. If you have problems with swing, loosen the Zen pins. It worked pretty much instantly for me. But as for anyone who would buy this in the future, I can't really see too many arguments to doing it. I don't know. Because I think the only one that really makes sense is a public flipper. And like, if you want a public flipper that doesn't flip the best, I mean, whatever. More power to you. Excuse me. Excuse me. More power to you. That's great. But for any other use case except expanding your collection and just getting something a little goofy, like if this is your first ballad song or if you're looking for another cheap ballad song when you already only have cheap ballad songs, I don't know if I would go down this road. So that's about it. Let me know what you think of the UFO in the comments, I guess, even though you guys already did last time. And maybe don't dude, there were some comments last time. It was very entertaining read. All right. So that's about going to do it. I don't foresee myself ever touching this thing again. Cool? Cool. All right. Peace.